Hey everybody, this is Randy McMullen with Amstar Mortgage. Hope you're doing well today. This has to be one of the most common questions that I get, and it's whether I should buy or rent, and how does that compare over a period of time. Obviously, it makes a big difference over a longer period, but I just want to take a look at it over a pretty short 5-year period because I think the differences is going to be pretty surprising to you. So what I did was I took a $400,000 house. Now, guys, this is going to vary from market to market a little bit. So this is just to give you an overview of kind of how it works. The specific numbers will be different, but they're going to be big enough that I think it's going to work in just any market. So if you have a $400,000 house and you rent it, typical rent is about $2,500. Now, I know that varies from 22, 24, 28, but I'm just using some average numbers. So if you rent for 5 years, I took the rent for $2,500, and then I took a really conservative 2% appreciation in rent. And I know rents have been going up a lot faster than that, but I want to be really conservative with my numbers on this. So if your rent went from $2,500 from year 1 to $2,550, $2,600, $2,650, and $2,700, if you multiply that out times 12 for each one, it's a total of $156,000 that you would have spent on rent in 5 years. How does that compare to buying? So I took a house and I really just took a 3% down payment. Obviously, if you make a 5% down or a 10% down or even 20% with no PMI, the numbers get even better, but I want to be really conservative with this one. So I took a $388,000 loan at 3.75%. Again, I use taxes of $4,800 a year. That could be high in some markets, that could be low in a lot of markets. So just kind of adapt that to your particular market. I use homeowners insurance for $155, and with 3% down, you have PMI, and I estimated that at about $155 a month. So the total payment was $2,472. I kind of did something similar, and I just raised that by $10 a year, assuming that your tax bill goes up $100 a year, maybe $400 or $500 in five years. And I took those numbers over 5 years, and it was $149,520. So the first thing you look at, you go, okay, 149 versus 156, you save about $6,500. But that's the small part of it. Here's the bigger part. This house that's $400,000, even if it only goes up, and again, I just use 2% a year. If appreciation is 3, 4, or 5, it could go up significantly more, but even with just 2% a year, the house becomes 400 to 440 in 5 years. We saw that in 1 year last year. And the loan balance in 5 years drops from 388 to 350. So on top of paying about $6,500 less, you have $90,000 in equity. Huge difference in that. Now, I also put in maintenance, because if you have a house, you're gonna have to put in, paint every once in a while. You gotta fix things up. I put in $4,000 a year, and I estimated that $20,000 would be for maintenance. That might be high, but still, you still have $70,000 of equity left over, and there's still more. If you write off the interest that you paid over that 5 years and your property taxes, which are deductible, you can write off as much as $93,000 in tax breaks. That's going to save you some additional money. So there's really a super big advantage for purchasing as opposed to renting. Now, I've heard people say, well, what if the market crashes? I'm going to cover this again. I've covered it in previous videos, but I got to tell you guys, supply and demand. The last time we had a little recession, that they call the Great Recession, there was a lot of inventory on the market, about 3.7 million homes. Now there's about 850 to 900,000 homes, so a lot less homes, and oh yeah, there's 10 million more people out looking for a home than there were 10 years ago. So this supply and demand is going to keep a pretty good amount of pressure on prices for the next couple of years. If you have any questions, feel free to give me a call. This is Randy McMullen with Amstar Mortgage. Have a great day.